All right, so I'm just kind of going through my 4 amps right here. I've been really having a lot of fun, man. I'm excited. New Horizons. Started mixing my friend's instrumental record for his son, and taking a 5-minute break, and we're going to do this. So you're going to hear the amp. It's like in the crunch channel. So the first one here is the Matchless HC 30 going into the Matchless 212 cab. The second one here is the Mark V in channel 2, and I don't know what it's called, crunch mode. Yes. And then the next one over is the Mark V in channel 3, which is Mark IV mode. Then the next sets over here are the PT 100 channel 2, and then this is the PT 100 channel 3, and then this is my 77. So what you'll see is it starts out, and then I'll point to it. So the first overdrive is the 808, second one is Lightspeed Greer Lab or Greer amps, third one is the King of Tone Yellow, and the fourth one is King of Tone Red side. It's 2 sides. So you'll get the gist of it. So we'll just do this one at a time. So and again, they have different cabinets, and they kind of have obviously different ppurposes. I mean, the Matchless is more voxy, but you can hear it. And it's all with my black Les Paul. All I had on was the Woodshed. No EQ, nothing, just straight in, except for once I use the overdrive pedal. So here we go. So Matchless channel 2. This is the first one I did, and I didn't do it the way I did the rest of them. Sorry about that. But anyway, there's what the Matchless sounds like. Kind of middle of the road. This is not a rectifier or anything. So you just hear it. Now, here is the Mark V channel 2 in crunch mode through the cab, the straight with all vintage 30s. So it's going to start just the track, just the cab, or just the amp. No pedals, except for the woodshed. Anyway, there you go. There's channel 2 of the Matchless. Of the Mark V in crunch mode. Here's channel 3 in the Mark V in Mark IV mode. Starts with no overdrives. Listening to it now, it probably is a little bit bright, but again, this is just where they were all set, so I didn't, you get the gist of it. So something I noticed, especially on this amp, the King of Tone is less gurgly. Like the 808 and the light speed between like dunk dunk, you can hear like the King of Tone yellow is so clean. I like that. I though with a track and you got bass and guitars and somebody screaming and drums, you don't necessarily hear all that. Here you do. But that was just an observation. On both channel 2 and channel 3, I really like that King of Tone yellow. But that was just personal taste. Kind of cleaned up the amp. So now we're on to the PT100. So the first little clip is just in channel 2, straight in. Then the second one here is with the boost. There's a boost on the amp. And then the next thing is all the overdrives. So here is the PT100, channel 2, straight in with the wood. Here's with the boost in on the amp itself. Okay, that's nice. Pete Thorne talks about it being high voltage. High voltage. So now here's the same amp, PT channel 2, starting with the 808. So into this amp. I think it sounds great. I'm really excited about making some records with it. Here's channel 3 straight in. So this is a little bit higher gain. All the settings are basically exactly the same because the EQ is shared and I've got the, everything's on 6, like volume and gain. So here we go. Channel 3 of the PT100. You know what's funny? Going back to channel 2 straight. It has a similar... It has a similar thing as the Friedman does in a sense that when the Friedman goes from brown eye to hairy brown eye, the hairy brown eye has, like, to me, this is not quite as heavy, but this is that same kind of modulation. So the channel 2 feels like more like his version of the brown eye, and then channel 3 is the hairy brown eye, which gets more of a like, well, let me hear it. So here's channel 2 straight in. Channel 3 straight in. Yeah, it's got a little of that almost hairy brown eye thing. I don't know what it is. It's like a little more something. Not really the low mid thing though. A little bit, but anyway. So here we go. Channel 3 straight in. Now with the boost in the amp. And now starting out with the 808. So there you go. Yeah, I really, I've grown to really like this King of Tone. It's like I like the yellow side. Like with that, I like the yellow side and maybe add a little bit more top to it. Yeah, because the yellow side's like the tone is at noon. You can just turn it up a little bit maybe. Anyway, here's my 77 stock JMP 50 water into the same cab as the Sur, which is the X pattern of Vintage 30 and Greenback. And this is just going to be straight in, and then it's going to go through the 4 pedals, the 4 pedal mode, so you'll know. So here's 77 stock, straight in, only the wood. Man, that King of Tone yellow is so dry, man. It's like makes me go like this. Anyway, so there it is. Like, yeah, they're all cool. They're all different. I had to turn. Funny thing is, it took me a bunch of tries to get to where I'm at now, because I had the Sur so dark. I don't know why. I had the presence down. I was treating it almost like the way I treat a Marshall personally. But as I started to record it and listen to it against kind of the Mesa, the Mark V, and the 77, I ended up going just noon with the presence, which is crazy, and the treble's like on 6.5, and I backed off a little bit of bass, so it wasn't so dense. Kind of like, yeah, so, but then the Marshall, the 77 was just so bright, and at first I had it set like the way I would think I normally would set it. It just felt brash. So the presence is very low, like from 1 to 10 it's on like 2. Treble is on like 4, and then kind of bass and mids are like noon. And I've got it pretty cranked, so. But, yeah, there it is. So, yeah. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? This was fun. Yeah, right? We're moving on. Mixing today. I got to program some drums tonight. It's on and cracking, man. It's on and cracking. What do you think?